I'm a huge fan of the Julia Robinson Mathematics Festivals. I think it's really inspiring and exciting to come spend a Saturday supporting kids who are interested in spending their Saturday doing mathematics.
We started these festivals about 6 years ago, and they give a place for kids who might not love math contests to spend some time engaging in some really deep, difficult, interesting math problems, but working cooperatively instead of competitively so that they can enjoy the atmosphere and it reaches a much broader group of kids.
What first interested in me was that there was a set of problem sets that kids could work on and learn to discuss problems together, to work together as a team.
They gave us 4 blocks and they all have different, like this one has 2 red sides and this one has 3. And then you have to get 4, each color on each side.
This is my 4th Julia Robinson Math Festival. This is my little brother's first.
You go alone or you go with a friend as opposed to having to wait for the whole class to come to a consensus.
I love coming here with my 2 kids. I have an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old. They like math, but they don't always sit down and work on math problems. So coming and doing puzzles with other kids who love math is really fun for all of us, and it helps build that enthusiasm around math.
It took like a long time to get this, but I did.
It's really good because it reaches a lot of different kinds of kids. Kids who come in with a lot of math background have some really deep problems to dig into, and kids who come in without so much background have some very accessible kinds of hands-on things that they can do to get started solving problems.
I love seeing their faces light up when they figure something out and see a pattern or see a relationship.
It's interesting at Julia Robinson that there's a much more equal numbers of girls and boys, where at other math events the girls are few in number.
The collaborative part of sort of the festival is really appealing, I think, both to me as well as to them. I see a lot of the girls that came at my encouragement sort of paired up and working together. And I think I really like the idea of being able to sort of sit down and figure things out together. You notice in there it's loud, right? People are talking about math. And I think that's something that sort of breaks down the intimidation factor a little bit, makes it more approachable, and it's also really fun for a lot of them.
I love the non-competitive aspect of this. It takes a lot of the fear of the different levels of math away, and math becomes much more of just kind of an approachable topic. Seeing how inspired the students are is always a great joy.
There's so many activities going on here. I wish I had the time to have as much fun as the kids are doing, going table to table. I would kind of like to press the restart button and go back and check that out, because there's a lot of cool stuff going on there.
The activity I'm working on today, it's called Space Chips, and we're building 3-dimensional solids, so different polyhedra, where each vertex has a sequence, and we're looking at the geometric and mathematical properties. So we're doing some building, some 3-dimensional spatial orientation, and there's some really good counting problems.
It's a lot more fun to be able to hold math than just sit and only go over theory. So I think that's sort of the fun of being able to interact and play with all this stuff.
We have about a dozen every year now around the country. There's about a half a dozen of them are here in the Bay Area, and then another half a dozen spread around the United States.
No matter who you are, no matter if you like math or you don't, you should really come to this math festival because it's a really good place and I really like it.
I hope we'll just keep growing and have a few more next year, come back to some of our old favorite locations and add a few new ones around the country.
I think a lot of kids are going to leave today pretty excited, and I hope it leads them to do something with mathematics in their careers.
It's a lot more fun.
That is definitely true.
A lot more problem solving too, and I think you get to see the applications a little more than you do when you're just solving equations in math class.
Yes, it's really cool to be able to build things with your hands.
Math tends to push people away, and this is definitely something where it shows both the collaborative side and the kind of fun problem solving side, and so I encourage people to just come and try it out to see if they like it.
Yeah, I think solving problems is a great way to get people used to